am I to do?
Seems my humming would be unwelcome.
So many happy voices carried on.
Can't remember the last time I had a proper meal.
Once the day's work is done.
Can't work as late as I used to anymore.
That is quite the quandary.
All this quiet makes me come more anxious.
A fine spot to take my mind off my troubles.
Last push, and I'll be done for the day.
No sense.
The mixed smell of perfume always makes me crazy. Where was I headed?
Even I know when to shut my trap.
On me. I'm just grateful I get to lead a quiet life.
Not much going on.
Anywhere better than the middle of the crowd.
Quite the predicament.
Lots to do.
There's a ladder here.
We ought to put it to good use.
What's this all about?
Brought me some tales of your adventures, eh?
Look at
Here's hoping there'll be no trouble.
The rules at your
Bring all day.
acting up today.
It gladdens the heart
Welcome.
to see so many smiles.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim. Well, well. He is merely Disa's puppet then. 'Tis likely that he knows naught of her schemes. Even were he to be removed, I suspect some other would simply be made to take his place. But if there's aught that compels my attention, 'tis this other man you mention. Phases, was it? He seems a man of import, and yet I have never heard of him. Pray, allow me to investigate this matter further. You've done...
Queen Regent Disa appears to be working in concert with this Phases fellow. But what precisely is their aim?
This is beyond me, I'm afraid. We're off to Vernworth Palace, then.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true Arisen. I have been unable to uncover aught of use through my own channels. Though, is there aught else you would speak of, Your Majesty? Do not forget that we work to serve the citizenry.
Follow me.
more time than I know how to spend.
Nice place, this. So, we finally arrived.
If that is your destination, we cannot follow. But know that your return is eagerly awaited.
Roller horse goes awry. Would if all my trades were but not at the expense of my duty. I swear I've not blinked once in the last hour. All my days were so tranquil.
Who's there? Pray, keep your voice low. 'Twouldn't be good for either of us if someone was summoned to come check on me. Could it be that you have come to bring Mother's schemes to light? Aye, Disa is my mother. Pray forgive me for not telling you sooner. 'Twas never my intent to deceive you. I'd simply feared that if I spoke the truth, none would wish to involve themselves with me. But that is no longer a concern. 'Tis clear that we are allied in purpose. My word, you mean to say that you are the true Arisen? That the Sovereign currently residing in the palace is a pretender? Could Mother have had a hand in that as well?
Regent Kin Sven appears to be missing from his chambers. Have you seen him?
Me? No, sir.
Then start searching, you fool. Should aught befall the Regent Kin, 'tis us who'll answer to her grace.
Forgive me. My absence seems to have made this rather more difficult for us. You ought leave the palace at once. This room turned up little of interest, but I've a mind to look into this further. I'll head out first and speak with the Sentinels. Use that opportunity to make good your escape.
Where have you been? Forgive me. I couldn't see. Thought a stroll might clear my head.
Prithee inform us
So, let's take it easy today. Just about anywhere are acting up. Wonder if anyone will notice if I stay here a bit.
What they're whispering of me now, I dread to think it's too quiet here.
Oh, I got to keep moving.
So the Queen Regent is plotting something after all. Oh, I thought as much. I expect Captain Brandt will want to hear of this. Follow me, Master, a few words. I'll bring you to the one you seek.
We're in your hands, sir. Much obliged.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true Arisen. How fared your mission? Was there aught suspicious to be found in the Queen Regent's office? This scrap. 'Twas part of a letter, and from Batal no less. This alone can prove little, but 'tis clear that Deeza's schemes run deep. To think, Deeza's actions have weighed even on the mind of her own son. 'Tis a surprise, but a welcome one. Deeza is the doting mother before the Regent King. If Regent King Sven is willing to aid us by drawing Deeza's focus, we may be able to gain more useful information. You have done well, Your Majesty. Though I am limited in the aid I'm able to offer, I bid you, take this.
Queen Regent Deesa appears to be working in concert with this Phasus fellow. But what precisely is their aim?
Sir Fulvio, the artist whose service. A clerk commissioned this.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true Arisen. Do not forget that we work to serve the citizenry.
Right, just follow me.
This isn't right.
mistakes this time.
What to make of this?
Can't help but see a turncoat in every place.
Mayhap this ladder is here for a reason.
Ah, excellent find.
Another day.
Here, if you please.
Our destination is rather distant. Perhaps we ought to consider employing the services of an ox cart.
'Tis the Arisen's choice to make, though I certainly wouldn't begrudge the chance to put my feet up.
Ox carts make for relatively safer travel.
They can be most convenient, though they only travel during the day.
Arisen, I know of at least one location in the vicinity that may be of interest to you. Shall I tell you more?
I'm sure I can handle this. I swear I've not blinked once.
What should I do?
I remember the last time my pocket jingled.
Sir, ought you not be in... Ah, forgive me. You're not a patient, are you? 'Tis a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Eleanor. I regret that I cannot offer you a cup of tea, but I'm in the middle of making my rounds of the patients. Not to mention, I have to find the means to procure more medicinal ingredients. Oh. You wouldn't happen to know someone willing to brave the roads, would you? I know 'tis perilous, but there is one ingredient in particular we cannot afford to run out of. You would procure it yourself. In that case, might I trouble you to bring me some miasmite? The slums are a bane to the body's humors, and its residents are oft prone to illness. We do what we can with what little we have, but we're always short on helping hands. Your aid is most appreciated, sir. Yes, sir. Ah, forgive me. If that's not the case, you are...
Ingredients are plentiful hereabouts.
No harm in picking a few.
What else needs to do?
Well met. You will soon forget the fatigue of a long journey when treated to the foremost hospitality. In all Vernworth. You know where to find me. notion eludes me, but... I'm certain. There is one. Well, you will soon forget the fatigue of a long journey when treated... to the foremost hospitality in... You know where to find.
Look, as long as you please. Oh, is everyone always in such a hurry? You're right,
Flights are taken at a leisurely pace. There's comfort in the
My head hurts just thinking about it.
I'm aching for a fight. My bed concerns.
Yes, sir. Have you procured what I asked? Splendid. You've my gratitude. Unfortunately, I can give you little more than that. Forgive. But in place of a reward, mayhap I could give you a tour of the premises. Only if you've the time and inclination, of course. What say you? As servants of the gracious hand, we provide whatever treatment we can to those unfortunate who are stricken by maladies. Yet, at times, 'tis not enough. Perhaps you will recall the parents who were here when you first arrived. An unfortunate pair. They've suffered no few hardships in the slums, and now even their poor son Lubomir has fallen ill. By chance, he was examined by a roaming man claiming to be a doctor. Yet, the family had not the money for the medicine he required. So, he was put into our care.
Let me get that.
Here he is. This young man is Lubomir. We've been administering the medicine recommended by the doctor who examined him, but he has yet to show any sign of recovery. To be perfectly honest, I doubt the soundness of that so-called doctor's judgment. After all, there is no shortage of ne'er-do-wells out there, willing to claim their medicine the only cure, that they might inflate its price. But I suppose I ought not say such things so openly. At any rate, I'd best continue on my rounds. Pray, stay as long as you wish. Come, come. We've medicine to prepare. We've enough to make a fresh batch now, thanks to a kind donation.
Psst! You there! Help me! Listen, the sisters here are good to us, but I'm growing weaker day by day. It started with a slight fever, and now I can scarce lift myself up. See that empty bed? An old man was lying in it till just a few days past. He told me he was feeling better, that he'd be well enough to leave anon. And now he's... Mayhap I'm just imagining things. I hope that's the case. And yet... something isn't right about this place. Pray, should you hear any queer rumors about the Gracious Hand, come tell me of them, won't you? I'd see to it.
Might you be a friend of Lubomir's? He's seen better days, hasn't he? There has been talk of sending him down to the basement, should his condition fail to improve. That is, the basement sick room, where our most critical patients convalesce under the abbess's care. None of the other sisters are permitted entry, including myself. Tell is, she gives the patients a special medicine. I know not what kind. At times I hear strange cries and moans drift up from below. Which is to be expected. Those who come here suffer all manner of afflictions, you see. And yet, a part of me is afeard for them.
So, the worst of us are taken to the basement. Mayhap that's the source of the queer voices I hear at night. And none save the abbess can enter? If the Gracious Hand has a secret, 'tis the abbess who keeps it, I reckon. You've done this much for me. Would you be willing to go further? I must... you've my thanks. I just can't stomach the thought of lying here not knowing. Of course, all the better should your search come to naught. But if you do find aught amiss down in that basement, it must be the abbess's doing. Should you find evidence fit to implicate her, will you help me see to it that justice is carried out? See, I've already reported my suspicions to the sentinels, and we've arranged a signal. If you apprehend the abbess, they'll know to come and arrest her. So I beg you, sir, find the evidence you need. If it exists to be found.
What about this reeks of a plot? Let us gather evidence that we might expose it.
Right you are.
I know not why, but the words basement sick room set my hair on end. Shall we investigate?
Well said.
I don't know what to do.
Minute now. Can't make a living if I get myself injured. It's past time I attended to the day's work. is everyone always in
Ought to
such
set
a
my nose to the ground.
Welcome.
There's a ladder here.
After you, Arisen.
Troubles like to strike if I let down my guard.
Well met, sir.
I could use a bit of excitement in my life. No sense straining myself.
Nattering all day. Tiring.
My head hurts just thinking about it.
This year's crops aren't faring so well.
There's nothing doing.
This begs consideration.
We have found a material.
Different combinations of materials result in different creations.
Mayhap would serve us well to track down the former patients mentioned in these records of treatment.
I suppose 'tis so.
Oh, someone help me. Jahan? Oh.
Medicine? Medicine! 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 Now! Now!
I not.
Barely drag my arse out of bed.
I'll have an early supper.
I sleep on my woe.
Sets my thoughts down.
There are useful ingredients to be gathered here, I'll wager.
Shall we see if there's aught to be found while we're here?
Elena. Ah, yes. The abbess of the Gracious Hand. A fine woman by all accounts. I was in her care once myself. But I must admit, I've always felt there's something off about her. You see, I was only a little under the weather when I entered her care. But then I started getting sicker and sicker till I was certain death would come for me. In the end, I survived, but methinks I was one of the lucky few. And once, I saw her, the abbess, meeting with a strange man. She handed him a large parcel, all wrapped up. And he gave her something small in return. You'd think 'twere medicine, but I'd not have bought medicine from a man like that. He had the look of a scoundrel about him. They were whispering, but I did hear one of them say aught about keeping quiet. 'Tis well suspicious, eh? Where'd they meet? 'Twas in the square in the eastern part of the common quarter, and always a knight, as I recall.
Lady Eleanor's a goodly person, a saint-like. Her earnest care saw me back to full health. I wavered between life and death for quite some time in that basement sick room, and she watched o'er me through it all, bless her. Can't say as I miss that basement, mind. 'Tis an eerie place, dark and shadowy, filled with the moaning of the sick. Suppose 'tis only to be expected, given the state of those assembled. I'm sure I was moaning too.
I haven't seen my husband in some time. You wouldn't happen to know what's become of him, would you, sir?
Make it quick. I ain't got all day.
What might you need? Neglect proper nutrition.
It was a fascinating tale those soldiers outside the palace were discussing.
Regarding the Queen Regent and an important personage, you mean?
Aye. Tellys, her ties to this figure from the neighbouring country have a romantic tint.
I hope the weather holds.
Could use a bit of peace and quiet. It's nice to see everyone.
Got to crack a few skulls if you want to soft off. Find myself practice the technique I thought of yesterday.
I end up feeling
Lots to do and precious little time.
Oft we forget the value of the
I've trained for this. Time to be heading home.
I ought to turn in for the night.
I could use a bit of peace and quiet. Something good will come of today.
You understand? Say, would you be willing to do me a favor? A pity, but I shan't press you.
Head will roll if aught goes awry.
Seems well.
Suppose I've missed out my tea.
Here.
Aye, this is plenty. Lord Phasus is like to be in your debt. Nicely done. Suppose it can't have been easy to procure this much so quickly.
You suppose wrong. I command their full faith. 'Tis simple for me to extract what I require.
Ha! You're a fearsome one. Here's hoping I ne'er end up in your care.
Enough. I gave you yours, now you give me mine. I'd not be seen here with you.
Ah, of course. Wouldn't want to hurt the Lady Saint's image in the eyes of the common folk, would we? Here's your special medicine.
Glad we understand each other. Till next time.
I be seeing you.
This is not the first we've heard of Lord Phasus. What could his aim be, I wonder?
How very peculiar.
There's naught I love more than a saucy room.
I don't know what to do.
Can't remember the last time my pockets jingled.
Just remember, I've somewhere to be. Guide me through. You're back. Pray, tell me, have you found anything? What? You found a medicine used only in the basement sick room? I don't like the sound of that. Do you think... Could I trouble you to look into this as well? Mayhap you could show it to the doctor I saw before coming here. Radcliffe, his name was. He's staying in the rest town. Pray, sir, do what you can. I must know.
Methinks we would do well to bring this medicine to Sir Ratcliffe, the doctor over...
You're back. Pray, tell me, have you... These look like records of treatment. Johann and Bruno. I know these two. They left here not long ago, fit as a pair of fiddles. I recall them being especially meek to the abbess. At any rate, they may know aught of use. Loath as I am to ask more of you, perhaps you would speak to them in my stead? You're back. Pray, tell me, have you found anything? These look like Johann and Bruno. I recall them being especially meek to the abbot. At any rate, they may know all...
Talk to. Mine is a life devoted.
My prayers will surely be rewarded.
Them nobles do nothing but go sweetmeats today.
Why's my luck so
What should I do?
Clean and tidy. What else needs doing?
Mayhap I really would have been better off. I'd rather just stay out of everybody's.
What's life without a bit of fun?
This ox cart's bound for the checkpoint. I'll not take you anywhere till I've had my due.
An ox cart ought to make our journey easier.
One hopes these carts are...
Surely I know that you would date Carol comes from the luminous intellectual
If you want my advice, heed no advice save your own.
While you're here, eh?
But not at the expense of my duty.
Got a crack at you.
Well met, sir. How was the day treating you
Too many. Might as
well take a look while you're here, eh?
I'd gladly stay here forever if I could. Am I losing my touch?
Aye? In need of a doctor, are you? What's this you're giving me? Oh, I see. You want me to run some sort of test on this? Interesting. Well, you've certainly piqued my curiosity. Whatever your reasons, I'll take a look. Naturally, I'll need a bit of time with it. Come back again in... oh, I don't know. Later.
Only thing a pill is good for is pulling in a scrap.
I'd go for some decent sleep.
What am I supposed to do?
Just yonder looks to be a good spot for harvesting ingredients.
We could pick some now and use them when the need arises.
When does my watch end? But not at the expense of
Might as well take a look while you're here, eh?
Ah, there you are. You've come at a good time. I've just finished running those tests. I must ask, where did you acquire that concoction? To be plain, 'tis more poison than physic. It has the potential to heal one's ailment, certainly, but only if they could survive long enough, which isn't likely. Worse still, it has addictive properties that are likely to cause the patient to become dependent on its deadly effects. I say patient, but I should hope whoever made this did not intend it as a method of treatment. You'd have to be well and truly mad to attempt such a thing.
If I could, I'd never leave.
Need anything?
My feet always take me.
What am I supposed to do?
I've not an inkling of what to do.
This ox cart's bound for Vernworth. I'll not take you anywhere till I've had my due.
None of us is guaranteed.
What the?
Yeah, such here, an enchantment cold to freeze our bones. Ice. It's the
bleeding throat like me.
We're done for.
What?
I'll collect that. You needn't trouble yourself.
In traversing other worlds, I came to know
We've got goblins!
we have no means of exploiting our enemy's weakness.
Well fought, Arisen.
Could seem I'm catching up to them.
Outstanding. Your most priority is to douse those flames.
Listen, you are full of surprises. I look forward to informing my own master of that strategy.
Now that is a surprise.